Okay, this is a photograph I took at the Farmer's Daughter, which is down in North Kingston, Rhode Island. It's just an incredibly beautiful nursery, and they have always been super nice about letting my classes from South County Art Association meet there to paint their gardens. They do all the work, we have all the fun. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start in this little corner right here. And this is an idea I got from Richard Schmid's book, where he tries to always start his painting with a shape he can really see. So that's kind of going to be there. This is about halfway. And then we have these things coming down in front. Oh, not maybe a little less over there. I'm drawing with soft bind charcoal, and this is the pastel premier paper, and it is also the terracotta color. Okay, so here's my big orange thing of flowers. Here's some little doodahs. Here's the big purple thing of flowers. So I did this before as an actual demonstration on the site, and I had so much of the roof in there, and man, I really hated it. The roof was just this big bright thing, and I really wished I hadn't had all that roof, so I cut out a lot of the roof in this picture. And one thing I liked about this photograph is it was such a misty, foggy day, which I don't know, it doesn't seem, I don't have many pictures of this kind of light effect. I'm just going to say right now, it is stupid to get this involved. Oh, okay, this has to be straight up and down, Jeneane. It's stupid to get involved with this kind of stuff right now, so I should go for some bigger shapes. And I should go right here from here and work my way over, not. I don't know what all's going on out there, but I might just decide to leave some of that out over there, because I can't really see it very well. Evidently, I hum a lot when I'm painting, and it's really hard not to hum when I'm in between, like when I'm thinking about what I'm doing. It's really hard not to hum some sort of little tune. It's funny to me that I almost do that really crooked. So you want your vertical lines to be straight up and down, unless you're doing kind of a big perspective thing where you're looking up at the building. But otherwise, all these verticals need to really be vertical lines. And this is going to take me a little while to draw it in, but I am going to do the minimal amount of drawing. I'm not going to put in all the lattice work. It's a thing that I was a little reluctant to do this painting, but I really wanted to do something with a garden. So I just did it. Okay, so that's there. And this building is in 2-point perspective because we can see two sides of it. I think my eye level is about right here where this comes across this the bottom of the lattice work stuff. I think that's my eye level. Okay, I just made that way too wide. And of course I've got my easel up a little too high, which makes it very kind of awkward and makes my arm hurt. So and in generally it's better to not, but you know what, I think I'll try a different chair. Oh, what an idea. But it's a good idea not to have your easel up so high that you have to raise your shoulder to draw, because it gets very, oh, well, this is way too tall, but let's just see. It gets very tiring, and I don't think it's good for your arm. Okay, so, wow, there's just too much going on here. Okay, so here's this thing. It's going to come up in here. Yes, I have my chair that I really like, but it's at home to use when I'm doing Zoom calls because it's so comfortable, but it's adjustable, and that is really just the best thing in a chair. All right, so here's a big red flower. Here's a little yellow flower. Here's another red flower. I just realized what is going to happen in all this big black space in here, but then I remember there's going to be some flowers, so that is good, because otherwise, not so good. All right, and then here is the lattice part. All right, well, I didn't quite get it all. Didn't all fit exactly right, but I'm just going to hope for believability. That's kind of my plan. That's there. Let's come across here. And then there's going to be a bunch of purple stuff sticking up here. All right, well, this chair was too tall. And I don't seem to have a chair that is just right, so. Okay, and then there's all these yellow flowers that go right up in here. Well, you know, I'm just kind of tired of drawing now, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and lay it in with color, and then we'll see what I need to do about my drawing later. The sides and the front of the building are really, really similar, but I think I could make the front side a little bit lighter. And actually what I'm going to do though is I'll start with the sky. And I draw that little outline, but once I've got my composition set, I just go ahead and go straight to the edges. And you know, I think the next thing I'm gonna do is this in here, and I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna go with some kind of violet for that whole. And you know what, I'm gonna do it in here too. That violet was too light, so let's come back over it with a little bit of dark red. No, I haven't fixed my easel yet. Okay, and then, yeah, I think I'm gonna get more stuff covered before I do the flowers. So I've got all this lawn here. And look, I'm using green. When I'm doing a flower garden, I don't feel like I can be as reckless with some of my other color choices because I need to save those colors for the flowers themselves. Now that is way too much, maybe exactly the same. Let's try this one. Mostly right now, honestly, I just would like to get as much of the red paper covered up as I could. I already wish I'd drawn better. But that's okay. I can always redraw. Okay, so now I just want to find something I can use that will represent all these front planes of the building. And then I'm going to find something I can use to represent the side planes of the building. And then I'm going to look for things to use up in these darks. And it's pretty tempting just to go ahead and try to find some grays that would just work here. Oh, that's a purple. You go over here. What are you? Too dark is what you are. Okay, so. Whoa. Trying to keep these straight up and down here from my angled place. Okay, and then try this far over here. And I'm quite aware there's more variety, but I need to start something. I need to start as simple as I can so I don't get too confused. Let's see what this is. So I decided that the right side of the structure was a little bit darker than the left side. Yikes. Okay, well, got some serious problems here. And I am keeping my colors over here, trying to keep my colors over here so I can use them. Something really wrong right there. So when you start to feel like there's something really wrong, just grab your charcoal and see if you can make things better. And I can even use it to fill in, like I think I let a dark get away from me right there. And putting in these darks, you know, with charcoal, it's not nearly as risky because I know I'll be able to cover that stuff up if I need to. Okay. What is going on? carefully. No, gotta find some other stuff. Wow, there is a lot going on here. All right, so let's see, this is going to be dark in here too. Dark in there. I guess I'm going to have to draw some more right in here. So I don't really know what's going on. All right, so that goes there. Wow, and I'm leaving out so much, and I've still got such a lot to draw. Okay, flowers. All right, so even though the paper's orange, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my orange marigolds here. And I'm not looking at individual flowers. I'm just looking at clumps. And maybe back here I'm looking more at individual flowers, but just want to be sure I get the flowers in where they're going to go so that I don't have to put them on top of the green, all the greens. If this would help. Yeah, that might help. Okay, these are the yellows. And see, like even here where I, on top of that black or dark blue, I don't, that's hard to get that to go down too. Of course, I dropped it. All right, so leave it there. I'm just gonna start some really dark purples in here to be some of these greens in shadow because they just look really purple. And then some others look more bluish. And I've got to come back and draw those leaves again. And something's this complicated, you just need to try to simplify it any way you can. And so if the way to simplify it is to not use a ton of different greens initially in the shadows, well, then I think that's really worth doing. And I really like this color. In the minute I set it down, I think that's the end of it because it's almost gone. Okay, managed to set that little piece down. Okay, and so then I do need some lighter greens, but I don't want to go too light too fast. So, and I'm going to try to see if I can see the difference between the greens that are a little more on the yellowish side and the greens that are a little more on the bluish side. Sorry, it just hit my microphone. I don't know if it made some horrible, huge noise. Wow, cannot get that drawn right. All right, so this is just a tiny thing here. And then there's a big round thing here. And then another tiny thing down here. Okay, and then I've got red flowers I need to put in. Ooh, I think I'd like to use that for some of these leaves too. You know, I've never actually painted canna lilies before, so I don't know much about their structure or anything. So basically, my plan here is get this covered so I can spray it. It's fun to see how this would look in here with that dark blue. It's probably not a great idea. No, it's not going to work. Okay. So what can I put in there that's dark and not too distracting? This is, oh, damn. That's also a green. It was a green. All right, that's it. I've got to stand up and find that one. I cannot step on it.